Hello and welcome back to Art Club. We've got another fun-filled day for you guys. Now we're going to be starting our Picasso portraits. And so obviously we're still talking about Picasso during our club this week. So we're looking at that surrealist, not really looking so much at like photorealism here because once again, Picasso style. So as you're looking at the start that I have, so this is kind of how we want to end the day today, that this doesn't necessarily, well actually it does kind of look like me at like 5 a.m. when I'm waking up. That's actually pretty accurate. But like once I'm up and going, you know, once I've had my caffeine for the day, I look a little different than this, right? So with Picasso, not so concerned with photorealism, but let's take this back and let's go step by step with how we're going to get this created. This is a 2-day project, so like I said, by the end of today, we really just want to have something that resembles this ready to go. Tomorrow, then we're going to focus on coloring it in and gluing it down, because right now, boop, not glued down. Tricked ya. So the first thing we want to do is determine the shape of the head that we're going to have. So in our slides, I have these examples that you can kind of use, but this is not like these are the only things you can do. These are just some ideas, but you're the artist, so definitely feel free to add your own creative twist into this. All right, so looking at this guy right here, if we're looking at that one, the head shape is kind of like more just straight on the sides and then curved on top and bottom. So that's a pretty easy one to cut, especially if you already have a piece of cardboard that's just sort of straight up and down. Just cut the curve on top and bottom. Good to go. Then if we look at the ones that say number 1, number 2, and then even the one on the very right, I wish I could extend my arm that far, where she's got kind of like the one big red eyebrow. If we look closely at those, they actually all have a very similar shape to this, where it almost looks like a triangle, but with the tip cut off, right? In number 2, it was turned kind of this way, and then they cut a chunk out of it. But it's still, if you're looking at it, you know, whether they're a little wider or narrower, they're all kind of similar to that triangle with the top cut off. So that could be an option for your head shape as well as you're planning that out today. If we look at numbers 3 and 4, they remind me of Mr. Potato Head, don't they? Like they kind of look like a potato. So that's an option as well. And then if we go way over to the one that has like a green cheek and a red eye up here and a blue eye down there, that one probably is the most true to how a human face would look, where it's kind of got the chin and then the jawline coming up like this, and then, you know, kind of narrows out, flattens out here. I mean, definitely a little too flat on the top, but whatever. We're going for surrealist. It's all good. It's going to be a little abstract and different looking. So anyway, choose your head shape, draw that on to a piece of cardboard, and get it cut out. So that's our first step. If you, at any point during this video, you need to stop it, rewind it, pause it for a little bit, feel free to do so. Once we've got the head ready to go then, our next step is to start designing how we want that face to look. So in your art kit should have been a packet with some different inspirational pictures here. Now, once again, these are for inspiration, so you can choose to mimic them more precisely, or you can choose to just kind of look at them and then create your own. So that's going to be up to you, but we've got some fun pictures here. What I want you guys to notice with mine, for some things, like the eyebrows, I chose to make them pretty matching. Like one's a little bigger than the other, but it's the same style, okay? For other things, and all I did, I'm just going to make sure I'm clarifying here. All I did was I took and I had a little scrap piece of paper here, or not paper, it's cardboard, you guys. But what I did from there was, with my scrap piece of cardboard, I drew my eye or whatever I'm drawing next. Draw that on here. Let's see. That one looks kind of like that. And then we get the pupil on in there. And the eyelashes. This is one of my favorite things about this one. I like those eyelashes. So once you've got, you know, each of them drawn on there, you go ahead and cut it out. Now, cutting cardboard takes forever, and I didn't want you watching me cut cardboard for 15 minutes in this video, so that's why I have them already cut out for you guys. But you'll notice that with the eyes, I actually chose different ones, right? And so, once again, with Picasso, with this surrealist kind of style, we don't have to be having matchy-matchy for everything. We're not necessarily looking for symmetry. And in fact, with a lot of Picasso's artwork, you're going to see where it's like, okay, well, the person looks like they're looking forward, but their nose is actually sideways. Or there's a whole bunch of different fun stuff that goes on with Picasso's work. So I chose to do one eye that looks like it's going a bit sideways, and the other one that looks like it's looking forward, but maybe glancing in that direction. So, anyway, I'm going to put those right there. The ears, once again, I chose to make them a little bit different. So, you could make them matching, you can make them different, up to you. I thought this nose was really fun. So, this is the one I went with for mine. But, something fun, I'm going to put that, let's see, maybe I'll angle it kind of, angle this down a little bit more. The fun thing is, with this, since we're kind of cutting them out separately, is if you make something and you realize, not what I was envisioning. That's not how I thought it was going to work. So like, for example, maybe I made these, oops, they go that way. They could go either way. Maybe I made these lips and I put it on there and I'm like, don't really like it. Let me try it that way. Still not feeling it. Okay, we'll toss that to the side. Maybe I make a different pair of lips and try that out. So as you're building this today and you're kind of putting it together and playing around with like, okay, what angle do I want? Do I want it like, you know, and once again, Picasso's stuff can look pretty. Actually, that looks more like me at 5 a.m. I was lying before. This is much more accurate. All right, but as we're working on these, you can really have fun playing around with how you want it to look. So this is what we're looking to achieve before we have our next club tomorrow. Then tomorrow we're going to be coloring these in and gluing them down. So definitely have your oil pastels and your glue ready to go for that. Can't wait to see what you guys all come up with. Make sure to have your yarn ready to go for tomorrow. We can use that to add hair. We can use that if you actually want to make it into a mask. Obviously you wouldn't be able to see through it, but that would be a possibility for tomorrow as well. So have that ready to go. We'll see you guys then. Have fun.